eligible to play until the NFL completes its investigation into the incident. Hunt led the league in rushing his rookie season and had 14 total touchdowns in 11 games last season before being released. Greg, let's start with you on this one. What's your reaction to the signing of Kareem Hunt?
I was shocked, but in a good way. I think this was a big step for the Cleveland Browns, and I'm okay with it. As a fan, as a spectator, on this side of the media, I'm all about second chances. I'm not condoning what he did. And I think when you look at it from a business perspective in the Cleveland Browns, he had to have shown them specifically being John Dorsey and their owner, a level of contrition that gave them and provided them with a comfort level that said, we can bring this guy in-house. Because with all that the Cleveland Browns have had to deal with in years prior, in their past, with off-the-field issues, they understand the magnitude of acquiring a guy like Kareem Hunt with what he's bringing as far as his situation. But when I look at why teams make decisions and how teams make decisions, there's three elements. There must be a level of intrigue, and that's your production. What can you provide for me from a talent base? And then when you see that, man, I'm intrigued, I like what you do. Obviously, John Dorsey drafted this young man. He sat down with him. He was around him a lot. He understands what he's getting in bed with. So he's intrigued by all of that. Then there has to be a relationship. The relationship is there with John Dorsey. So he knows this guy, he wasn't this way. I didn't see this in him. And I'm willing to give him a second chance. It's not that he's in agreement with it or not, or he's picking sides. He's trying to make a good business decision to advance what he's in charge of, which is the Cleveland Browns and running that organization. And then there has to be a trust level, and that's completely on Kareem Hunt. This is a huge deal for the National Football League as well as the Cleveland Browns because, number one, with the league still having to do their due diligence, he's not going to be able to play right away. We don't know where they are in that, and that process has to be ironed out. But Kareem Hunt has now put himself in a position where I've been given a second chance. Now I have to show that they can trust me. And how do you do that? And what better way to do it than, number one, where it happened, where you are from, basically where you're from, where you went to college, and now you're going to be playing on this team in this same state with this all looming over your head. Can I trust that Kareem Hunt will get this done and make right and make sure that he's doing all the steps necessary to show that level of contrition, not only to us, but to the state of Ohio, to this young lady, to others outside that are going to be looking at us like, what are you guys doing? I think this is a good move for Cleveland because they're looking at it from a lens of, man, his production, the relationship that I have, and can I trust him? I believe I can, but that's up to Kareem Hunt. We'll see how it plays out.
I'm a believer in second chances. I'm not one of these guys who don't think people don't make mistakes and should get opportunities, especially, he's a young guy, 23 years old, talented football player, but shame on the Cleveland Browns for doing it as soon as they did. And that's my biggest issue is I think they should have waited a little bit longer. It almost feels to me like, yes, he got released by Kansas City, but because he's a good player, they're going to bend over backwards to right away. Not like he didn't get away with it, but it doesn't feel like he suffered as much as he probably should have. That right away, he missed 5 games the last 5 games a year ago. Hear me out. And I think that there becomes, I get the talent part, and I understand it's football. You're trying to get the best players. Cleveland hasn't won anything. Here's a chance to get a top running back for nothing and give it a whirl. Dorsey has a relationship with them. But I understand what Kansas City did even more. Kansas City had a chance to win a Super Bowl. Kansas City, right? And they decided, we listened to you. We backed you when this whole thing went down. You told us one story. We saw a different video. And despite us trying to win a Super Bowl, we would rather not have some integrity and not win with you, even though you would give us a better chance to win. I just think Cleveland jumped the gun.
So you're saying that the Cleveland Browns aren't showing integrity because they acquired?
I think that they waited. They did it too quickly, too soon. I just think I would rather. Let's see what the NFL
would have been
comes.
Appropriate.
Well, I would.
Appropriate timeline in your mind.
I think I just would have waited. He would probably have to sit out the season that's coming up, and then maybe I would take a look.
So if the league suspended him 6 games to start,
or after that, after the league suspended him or gave him something.
I'm more with Greg.
I just think it's too soon. That's it. It doesn't feel good to me.
I'm more with Greg. Obviously, none of us up here condone what he did, but he has suffered some punishment already. He was cut from a Super Bowl contender and received none of that money for those 5 games he missed at the end of the regular season and the playoffs. So he's already missed, what, was it 8 games? Well, 2 playoff games for them. So 7 games. That's more than an Ezekiel Elliott, was punished. So he's already had some punishment, and he's likely going to get another 6.
But Ezekiel Elliott's punishment came from the league. This was from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Whatever.
No, it's totally different.
Punishment. They both suffered punishment.
No, but it's a totally different.
My point is
the
that
league hasn't lent it down.
No, right.
He's going to end up missing
it's gonna be more than that.
13 games because of this, and I'm fine with that. But my point is he's already suffered some punishment, and he's going to suffer more. So for the Cleveland Browns to take him, I don't have a